Hello students, welcome to Geography class of 9th standard. This is the third video of lesson number 15, humidity. So far we have discussed the types of rainfall as a forms of precipitation. The objectives of the day are to discuss about the other forms of precipitation like snowfall, sleet, hailstones, along with distribution of precipitation, which is given on page number 121 to 122 of your geography book. Let us start the topic with important terms. Snowfall, a fall of snow. Altitude means height above the sea level. Sleet means rain containing some ice. Next is hailstones. Hailstones are small lumps of ice that form in the clouds and fall to the ground when their size reaches 5 mm in diameter or larger. Ice pellets are small translucent or clear balls of ice. Now let's start the topic. In this video we are going to give focus on snowfall, sleet and hailstones. Let's start with the book reading. Students, take out your page number 121, Snowfall. The temperature of the atmosphere decreases with increase in altitude. Altitude means height above the mean sea level. Condensation in the form of tiny ice crystals needs very low temperature. If the air mass is full of water vapor at a temperature below the freezing point, then the moisture from the atmosphere is released in the form of frozen ice crystals. Once the water starts freezing in a cloud, the ice crystals in hexagonal shapes start increasing in size. Hexagonal means in geometry, a hexagon is a six-sided polygon. Due to melting on the edges, several ice crystals stick together to form snowflakes. Snowflakes means feathery ice crystals. No two ice crystals are identical in shape. Identical means exactly alike. Most of them are variation on a six-sided pattern. The diameter of an ice crystal may vary from 1/10 of a millimeter to about 1 millimeter. Several millions of ice crystals are needed to make 100 grams of snow. Snow is not a frozen rain. The term sleet is used for the frozen raindrops and the refrozen melted snow water. Sleet also referred to a mixture of snow and rain. In a simple language, rain containing some ice is known as sleet. Let's understand in simple language snowfall. When precipitation occurs in the form of crystals of ice, it is known as snowfall. Whenever the temperature falls below freezing point, precipitation takes place in the form of a fine snowflakes. On the other hand, sleet, it is a mixture of a rain and snow. When raindrops freeze as they fall through a layer of cold air, the tiny crystals of ice drops down slowly like Come feathers. Back to the reading again. Next point is hailstones. Hailstones develop mostly in the cumulonimbus clouds. Small droplets of water are formed in the lower part of the clouds due to condensation. Many of them join together to form large ones. The strong rising conventional current carries these raindrops to higher levels. Convention currents means the movement of energy from one place to another, which causes freezing and gives rise to small ice pellets. They fall for some distance, slightly melt at the lower levels, and carried up again. Ice pellets means a small rounded compressed mass of a substance. This happens several times until the weight of the ice pellets becomes so heavy that they cannot be carried up by the current. Ultimately, these ice pellets fall as hailstones on the earth. The size of the hailstones depend upon the amount of ice they collect during their ascent and descent in the atmosphere by the conventional current. Ascent means upward movement. Descent means downward movement. Hailstones occur widely in the world except in the polar region. the hot deserts, and the equatorial region. The occurrence of hailstone is common during the spring and the early summer in the subtropical and the temperate regions. Let's discuss in detail hailstone. It is another form of precipitation consisting of pellets or balls of ice with a concentric layered structure usually associated with strong conventional of air in cumulonimbus clouds. They fall along with the rain or by themselves. Very often they are quite destructive. They damage standing crops. They are often associated with the thunderstorms clouds. Raindrops formed in the clouds begin to fall as rain, but they are lifted up by very strong upward air current and carried to much higher altitude when they freeze into big ice crystals. When these balls of ice start falling on the ground, they pass through a clouds full of water droplets. The water droplets, which comes in contact with ice freeze around the balls of ice, forming a concentric layer around the ice pellets. Thus, the size of pellets become larger and they become so heavy that the rising air current cannot hold them. So ultimately, they fall on the ground as hailstones. Come back to the reading again. Next point is distribution of precipitation. The mean annual rainfall on the earth is about 100 centimeter, but it is not evenly distributed. Most of the annual rainfall is received during a few months of the year, while the rest of the months either remain dry or receive little rainfall. In spite of great variations in the distribution pattern, some generalization can be made about the average annual distribution of precipitation in the world. These are as under: the total amount of rainfall is the highest in the equatorial region and decreases gradually towards the poles with a great deal of irregularities. The coastal areas receives greater amount of rainfall than the interior of the continents, which are generally far from the main source of moisture. Let's discuss this world distribution of rainfall. Rainfall varies from place to place or region to region. Rainfall is distributed according to location of any place or particular time or season of the year. Some places receives heavy rainfall, whereas some receives moderate rainfall, and some places may receive very low or scanty rainfalls, which are dry regions. Most of the parts of the world receives rainfall only in summer, but Mediterranean regions receives rainfall only in winters. Low latitude face the direct rays of the sun. As a result, the air is hot, which can hold more moisture. The air has high relative humidity that favors heavy rainfall. The coastal areas receives onshore winds which get more rainfall than the areas located in the interior parts of the continent. The windward side facing onshore winds receives more rainfall than the leeward sides of mountains. Back to the reading again. The mountain barriers tend to concentrate precipitation on the windward slope. Rainfall decreases as one moves towards the leeward slope. The windward side of the mountain we have already discussed. It means the wetter side of the mountain which receives rainfall. And the leeward side is the drier side which is not receiving rainfall. Next point is between 35° and 45° latitudes in both the hemisphere, there occurs heavy rain on the eastern coast which decreases gradually towards the western coast. Between 45° and 65° latitude in both the hemispheres, the rainfall from the westerlies is first received on the western coast and decreases gradually towards the eastern coast. Rainfall is more over the oceans than over the continents. This is due to the greater amount of evaporation from the ocean surface. So, areas of heavy rainfall, if we are talking about the equatorial region of Africa, South America, Southeast Asia, get rainfall throughout the year. On the other hand, western coastal region in middle latitudes receiving rainfall by onshore westerlies in North America, and western Europe receives rainfall throughout the year. Coastal areas of the monsoon region of Asia also receive heavy rainfall in rainy season. Next is areas of scanty rainfall, where annual rainfall is less than 25 centimeter. The tropical deserts located in the trade wind belts along the western margins of the continents. The interior parts of Asia and North America, which are very far from the sea, are called mid latitude deserts. Polar regions are known as cold deserts, come in this part of area of scanty rainfall. So students, this is all about today's topic. With that we have complete chapter humidity also. Hope you understand well. You have to revise the related back exercise and solve it. We will meet very soon with the next topic. Till then, have a nice day.